you expect that Edward Snowden will have his political asylum extended in Russia?
We expect that Edward Snowden will stay more time in Russia, because this is, as for now, it's the only safe place for him, and there is no obstacle that he gets prolonged his stay by the Russian government.
What would he like to do? Where would he like to be?
Look, he expressed a number of times that he would love to return to the US, and he considers himself as someone who break the letter of the law, but for good reasons, and so he thinks that he deserved a chance to come back to the US without serving a long prison sentence.
The Secretary of State, John Kerry, said he should man up, come home to the United States, and face trial, face the charges.
Look, I mean, if you see what happened to Bradley, now Chelsea Manning, I think this is enough explanation for any whistleblower, and especially for Edward Snowden, not to return to the US under these conditions.
Why? What exactly does he face if he were to come home? What are the charges he faces?
It's not only about the charges. Yeah, there are charges under the Espionage Act, a very doubtful law which deserves to be reformed very quick. But it's the treatment, the special treatment, what whistleblowers like Chelsea Manning got in the recent year in the US, and that's special administrative measures during the prison time. It's incommunicado time. It's inhumane treatment. What he might face, but especially it's a very long and not appropriate prison sentence he might get, and so I fully understand, we all fully understand, the German public, the European public fully understands that he doesn't return under these conditions.
Can you summarize the revelations that have most rocked Germany?
Look, I mean, in terms of the media, they were all most shocked about the wiretapping of Angela Merkel's cell phone.
The German Chancellor.
The German Chancellor's cell phone during a time when she wasn't even a Chancellor. But for us, let's say the Civil Liberties and Human Rights Organization, the mass surveillance conducted by the NSA with a certain participation of the German Secret Service was most shocking. And again, it's not, we are not willing to restrict this discussion to the NSA. It's not that we are pointing to the NSA as the only evil secret service. We want to talk about our secret services. We want to talk about secret services and their activities globally, because we know that all secret services in the world tend to use their technology whenever they have the chance to, and so it's up to us to close the door and to establish a stronger regulation for secret services wherever they are.
Can you talk more about the German intelligence relationship with the NSA?
Look, since a couple of months we established an inquiry commission in the German parliament, and the mandate of this inquiry commission is to investigate not only the activities of the NSA on German territory, but also the cooperation, the level of cooperations of the German secret services. So we're at the beginning of a maybe year-long investigation, and we assume that there were a number of information given by the BND, the foreign secret services, to the NSA, but the details have to be investigated. So there are a number of smaller items already revealed, like they have been given in Frankfurt a number of data in former years. I think it was until 2007. We know that there is a level of cooperation between Germans and US authorities regarding cases of targeted killing. But as I said, this has to be investigated conducted in this inquiry commission, and if necessary also in criminal procedures, because the inquiry commission on the level of the parliament is one thing, and the other important procedure is a criminal investigation conducted by the Federal Prosecutor's Office in Karlsruhe.
Will Edward Snowden be invited to Germany to testify before this inquiry?
It doesn't look so for now. Because,
why?
Yeah, because they, as the US is the most important ally of the Germans, and as the German government is fearing that the level of cooperation, military cooperation, Secret Service cooperation, will be affected when they invite Snowden, and probably he will stay here for a certain time. So they are not willing to stand this confrontation. Which is a, let's say, pattern we knew already from a couple of other incidents in the last 12 years.
And yet, you would think because he exposed that Angela Merkel, the German Chancellor's cell phone was being tapped before she became German Chancellor, as well as during, that there would be a great deal of appreciation for the person who revealed this. Or do you think German intelligence knew this full well before?
I'm not sure. They say they didn't know, but I won't buy into that too easy. But of course, there is a certain level of appreciation, especially amongst German society, German intellectuals, media, civil liberties, human rights organizations, but also German public. And not only German, and it's the same situation in France or in Belgium or in Spain, where similar inquiries will be conducted soon. We all appreciate what he did, but the governments are not willing to stand any confrontation with the US, even not as, you know, as a united Europe. They feel themselves too weak to confront the US.